everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features two teams looking for a win. It's the Broncos coming in at 6-1, going up against the Dolphins, who come in at 4-3. With that, let's send you out to Denver. We're standing by in the booth are two men who will call the game for us. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building as we come to you from Sports Authority Field at Mile High here in downtown Denver. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of... the 30-yard line. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Slot man moves right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
They'll set up a throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
And he motions the wide receiver. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 11 yards on the pickup, and it's first down, Miami.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Watch right, we got right.
Flex round, flex round.
Check three.
Come on, let's go. Hot, what? 9.
Mike.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
Here we go. Ohio, flex round. Here we go.
Check
Ohio. Hot.
Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. And he fires one incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
Okay, no score on that play. But this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Out. 3 down.
Let's go. Brand 38.
Now a play fake here on first down. Being chased out left. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
When Shaq Thompson declared for the draft, I said he should be a running back in the NFL. He said no way, he'd rather hit people as a linebacker.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Alert. 3 down.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Tight ends on the loosey. Hey.
I hear you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots, and powered forward and got the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
Leopard! Leopard! Now let's go! Over! Safety creep! Back 99! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! There you go now! Over! Hurry up, here we go! 55! No. Check! Patriot!
Now back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. Taken in at the 11. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. And they'll go with a ground attack here. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Ohio! 59's Mike, check, 59. You got nothing with that. Ohio!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And his throw here's incomplete. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Now let's go. Green, 30.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home, down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a 1st down. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he's got his man on the out route. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They come out here in the eye.
Check. What? Flex round. Flex round.
And on the ground they go with a running back. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
His throw caught right around the 6. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Hey.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep. He's got a man. Complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards. Fresh set of downs here.
Strong right.
Here we go.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll look to throw here. And he will find his man on the outside. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collect.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 5 yards to gain here on 3rd down.
Single.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Leopard, here we go.
Sponge. No.
Watch him now, Barney.
Check 4.
Gun.
Check 26.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. That is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Gun. Set. 3. On now. Lucky 56. Lucky Leopard.
Switch.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
I got one.
Let's go. Grand 38.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play, came across, and knocked it away.
Here we go.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's got time in the pocket. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. Third quarter now. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Now the point after try for Santos. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect. But
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go! What?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Surveying the field. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Really nice little connection there. They go with the corner route, and it works out well.
And the best way to set up the corner route is to throw slants throughout the ball game so that when you're able to get back outside, the defender has to respect the inside game.
And able to work his way down to the 16. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and just 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. So the Broncos coming out now. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. One receiver left, two to the right.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 23 yards on the play. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
He's checking crack. Jack 31.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's Hill, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there, an even 90 yards, and the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there.
Over. Let's go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
Let's go.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep and curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Well, they'll get 16 yards there, and it's a 1st down for the Broncos.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Here we go. 53's the mic. 53. Check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Let's go. Flex round. Tight dog.
They'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock.
Mike, 53, Mike. Hey, we heavy on the edges,
Back to throw here. Pass incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense.
Here we go. Flex round.
third down, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Hey, we got three down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Flex round. Here we go. What?
In motion left goes a tight end.
Motion out of the backfield.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye.
Flex round.
Oh, design run for their wideout. Fighting his way down to about the 3rd. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Come on, let's go. Red 38.
They're going to look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
Watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end.
Let's go. What? 90.
We got 3 down.
What?
We got to stand
90.
up over there.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Flex round. Let's go. Let's go. What? What? 90. Ohio.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there.
Here we go. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Here we go. Red 38. Red 38.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again.
All right, here we
but
go.
they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And, Charles, in this situation, this is where the word miracle comes into play.
Have to score real fast, maybe throw a jump ball in the end zone and hope for the best.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of a wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Miami, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Denver, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10.
Hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth that refused to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone out to the yap of a magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, a little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2 that it's off to a school where it's all that you do, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs, plus rhyming and stealing and being a clot. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will, the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was bloom and addiction, a miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute. Drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic, and I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive. I let my means of being dissolved. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed. The anti